Hello. Forrest says when he left the treasure there and walked back to his car, he had to laugh out loud. What was he? He had to laugh out loud or laugh at himself or what? But when you look up ring the bell loudly, as for crossword puzzle answers, ringing the bell loudly is laughing out loud. He's laughing, so he's basically rang the bell after leaving the treasure there, you know. And I had to do a little trick thing here with my phone, and I'm not using the facing me camera because my Halloween shirt wouldn't come out, you know. It would have been backwards, but that might have made you use a little imagination to figure out what the heck it says. You still got to use a little imagination. You get this at a George Thorogood concert, and it actually has a nasty picture on the back. This is because it says "bad to the bone," you know. Show it to you. I'll show it to you. See if I can, because I got a mirror showing me what's on my camera, so I can see what I'm doing, but I'm gonna have trouble reading anything if anybody puts anything on there. But here, look at the back of this shirt. Oh, okay. Where is it? Oh, yeah. It's a dog doing the nasty to a cat. But it was, you know, just ring the bell loudly. Just laugh out loud. Laugh at all the people that can't see it. Just laugh at them and laugh at them. Because his memories, the thrill of the chase is finding these ancient ruins and being able to read the stories of what ancient people did, and that you know they went to Mammoth Church and whatever. They loved their mammoths. They had pet mammoths, found mammoth corrals where they probably were mammoth pens, and places where concrete's poured and obvious human figures and stuff, you know. Ring the bell loudly is laugh out loud. Bill Gorman is bad to the bone. Yeah, yeah, leave my bones. Let me see. Reach around and. I'm reading all this backwards because I got a mirror to see this screen. So. Yeah, I seen George. Where did I get this shirt? I think I got it at the House of Blues in Orlando. That's where I seen George Thorogood the last time. I seen him with the Rolling Stones too, in San Francisco back in like 1981. But I think George has passed away. George or Jay Giles, I think, passed away. Yeah, but I seen him, George Thorogood, and the Rolling Stones, one concert. Yeah, I give myself a little haircut, you know, because this was. So, laugh out loud. Just ring the bell loudly. Grab all the bananas. Find all of the ancient ruins you can. Find all of these treasures. We are what the thrill of the chase is about us, about the searchers. It's about all the people looking for all the people that he has brought under his puppet strings. He's the puppet master and you're the puppet. He's created his own soap opera. This is getting very similar to It's a Mad, 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 Mad World. You know, people running people off the cliff, dumping them out in the desert. You know, I think he'll, well, what's his shit for brains in the hat? He shot himself in the foot last night. Yeah. Go away, Sean. Not Sean. I mean, sorry, Sean. It's a dyslexia thing, you know. I meant de poop. Later, de poop. Your shit stinks. Yeah. I just call him de poop because you know, I just the DE and then I put the poop emoji after it, and that's his new name. Yeah, he's the shit. Yeah, and he likes to threaten people too, you know, with violence, you know. About all, you know, he keeps this shit up, and I know where to dump my black RV tank when I go to Vegas. Yeah, I'll do one of those just like on Vegas Vacation or Christmas Vacation Chevy Chase, and just dump it right in his yard. Silent method. But yeah. And yeah, laugh out loud. And I found a rock that's shaped like there's a hand holding the bell. You know, it's a rock, and it's holding the bell like this, or a hand. You know, one rock is a hand, and the rock in front of it's the bell, and it looks like, and it's right by where he's sleeping on his desk, and Miss Ford's waking him up, and right by Lewis and Clark, and a couple big double omegas, and the Flintstones house, and stuff like that, you know. And it's right there where the water goes to walls on either side of the canyon, and the only way to get down is go in the water. You know, you can't go through that canyon unless you get in the water there or on the on the road. But the canyon below the road is pretty dang steep, and the walls and the rocks there's art in there. There's elephants and mammoths in the creek. What am I? Okay. Well, to make this easier to see, I guess I'll where's that tape? There. I'm going to switch around here. There. So that I can see what you guys are saying there. DeCall's a piece of shit. He accused me of harming children and babies, you know? That's as low as you can go. That's like, he's starting to sound like Maxine Waters. You know? He's full of shit. He wants to accuse me of harming babies and children. I can accuse him of molesting children. Yeah, and maybe even killing them and burying them out in the desert, out by Area 51. Yeah. You know? What the fuck, you know? DeCall needs a timeout at least. I mean, Um, he didn't really, that was bullshit. He was treated too nicely by you guys compared to what I've been treated for just calling him out. You know, it's bullshit. Walmart. There you go. Today's my wife's only day off this weekend. Here because she's in the shower. Well, why aren't you in the shower with her? What was that? Something came up on my phone, or I've never heard that tone on my phone before, unless I changed my tone, I think. So I probably just got an email. Yeah, just got a bunch of emails. Whole lot of junk. Yeah, I live down there. Dizium? What? I don't know what Dizam is. Yeah, if ringing the bell loudly is laughing out, you got to laugh at because it's all been a joke. It's yeah. His trove is the collection of his memories that are on the canyon walls. There's a Buffalo Cowboys cowl gas tank from like a Model A in a meadow that's shaped like the letter D. In the word wood, all the other letters are there, but the cowl was in the D. He's sure quick to interrupt some, but can't talk past his crayon box. David sure loved it. Oh, you gave him shit, yeah. Yeah, I was surprised that he cut David off and not to call. You know, you know. There's that gypsy mentality that, hey, you can't be a part of our group unless you hate Bill Gorman, and he's still part of that mentality. You know, all I ever called her was a bitch. You know, and who knows? Everybody imagines, well, there's probably more going on than just a little video show going on there. There's got to be a lot more to the relationship. If I had a partner, she'd be here with me. But, I can't get women to come within 300 miles of me. So, they go, oh, I'm in Taos. Can on the 28th of the month, right? And my budget comes at the beginning of the month. So don't ever call me at the end of the month and ask me to go somewhere. I'm on rations for the next 8 days. Gonna have an 8-day week rations. But I made a meatloaf yesterday. It was a 4-day meatloaf, So it was like 3 pounds. So just cut it into 4 chunks and had part of it last night. It was good too. I forgot to put the egg in it, but it still held together good. and it's still tasty. I used the barbecue sauce instead of ketchup on it. Yeah, there was a picture of it too, if you want to see what I ate last night. I'm on my diet. I try to eat a half a pound to a pound of meat a day, chicken or beef, to get a quarter pound of protein a day. That's how much protein you need. About a quarter for somebody, I'm like 240. I need like a quarter pound of protein a day. So 4 ounces of protein, and meat is chicken and beef are about 1/3 protein. Okay, have a good day, David. Don't hurt the manatees. I was out there swimming in that Homosassa River there. We rented a boat and went snorkeling in there and looked, but we didn't see any manatees there. But we went to the manatee park there and saw the manatees that they have in captivity. I don't know if they're in captivity or they're free to go or what. But, they got windows under the water. You can see the manatees. And we took some little cruise on a boat in the creek, and there's alligators and stuff. But we go people out there swimming, and I took my scuba diving, my PADI scuba classes in Florida, and we did one of our a lake dive. And it was for navigation and using a compass and stuff, because the lake's a little murky and stuff at the bottom. But there are alligators in the lake, and you're out there swimming, scuba diving with the alligators. Yeah, it's pretty. And then we did a night dive under the bridge, around the bottom of the bridge by the that goes to West Palm Beach. We went diving under the bridge there, and we dove on there was a couple of sunken cargo ships out there in the water. They weren't very big, probably 250, 300-foot cargo ships, small ones, but that they've sunken onto the bottom floor to create coral reefs. And so I go swimming into this compartment in the cargo ship, and there's a hatch with no door on it. And I come swimming up out of this door, and I look, and there's like a 6-foot barracuda right there. So I'm looking at him sideways. Okay, swim backwards. The barracudas look nasty, but I don't know of anybody really being attacked by. I know the only people I've seen getting injured by barracuda are people fishing them, and when they pull them out of the water, the barracuda will come in their mouth and nail them in the face, cut them all up or whatever. That's the only thing I've seen barracuda. Maybe, David left, so he probably knows about barracudas out there if they do that. And there's we got to the beach, and there'd be stingrays all over in the water and stuff. You don't want to step on them. I know a guy though that he was advised to drag your feet on the bottom so that you don't step on a stingray and get stung. He's dragging his feet on the bottom. He cut his foot on a piece of coral or rock or whatever that was in the sand, and nearly had to have his leg amputated because of the infection from the rock. So if you're in a place where there's rock, coral, whatever, and walking around in the water or in the ocean, you want to have some type of water shoe on at least, or something. But when you know somebody that about lost their leg over it, he was in the hospital and sick. Yeah, you got to be careful. There are people who go out here looking for forest treasure unprepared. He says teachers with ropes is about knowing better than to get in the water in a swimming Walmart kitty toy swimming pool raft and try and navigate white water and ice covered water in that type of all alone too, and just completely reckless. uh, Idiots that break into Forrest Fenn's place. Geez, he's lucky. Some of us would have shot. But I see where for you shoot them when you have to shoot them. If you catch them and they're totally cooperating and laying out, fine. But if you like David, you tell them you don't take one. You take one step closer, and I'm putting a bullet through your head. And when they take that step closer, you're open to it. Because you can feel threat. So if they get close, their idea is if they get close enough, they can get you, or give you a concussion with their fist, or try and take you out and choke you to death later. So you tell them where the red line is. They cross that red line, and then you're free. You're free to play God. Because that's what they're, for all you know, that's their intention. So, and I'm sure the guy, but his sister is a corrections officer at the county jail. So she's a jail attendant, basically, kind of, and he's got connections at home, and he can go break in and steal what he wants in his own county because his sister's going to get him off because she knows the judge and who knows. When I went to court for that traffic ticket, and I swear the judge was just flirting with the rookie cop, and helping her out. A judge doesn't act as prosecutor. That's up to the cop that gave you the ticket, or the DA, whoever. In this case, it's the cop that gave me the ticket was the prosecutor. The judge is supposed to be non-partial and not interfere with the prosecution or the defense, But he was acting as prosecutor, asking things like a prosecutor and stuff, and then making assumptions that were never even brought up. Like I said, I asked the cop if she recorded my speed while I was going through the intersection. I just wanted to know how much she was paying attention. And the judge said, "Oh, you were speeding?" What a stupid bastard. What I was getting at was that I was 5 miles an hour under the speed limit at least. But that judge, he threw in his frickin' 10 cents. Oh, you were speeding because you wanted to know if she radared you. It means you're guilty of speeding. That's a prejudice, and that judge was totally biased and 100%. Whatever the cop says. I mean, they didn't even. The video only showed the last 10 feet of the intersection, if that. I think it didn't even show my lane of the intersection because she's in the left turn lane, and I was to the right of her, and her didn't even show the front right corner of her car. That's how, and It's under appeal. I sent in I took in my stuff to the court a couple weeks ago, and I don't know how long they're going to take to respond to it, and you know, but when I went and served the papers over to the troopers, I went and served them with the appeal papers, and I talked to this black cop. He was real cool, and I explained to him what happened and stuff, and he said, "Well, I'll give it to the." I'm like, "Look, I don't know why it goes to that officer. If I'm appealing it, this should be going to public affairs, you know." I'm going to a higher court, not a lower court, you know. But and I didn't say that to him, but that's what I was thinking, you know. Why am I appealing to the same people that gave me the ticket? You know, supposed to go up higher, 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 and then make it to the Supreme Court of Colorado and then the U.S. and whatever. But you know, when you didn't commit the crime, I was in the intersection when it turned red, and I am not gonna take a hit and have my insurance double because of a stupid cop. You know, that same as Shelley thing was looking straight ahead, was not looking to see that I was right alongside her and entering the intersection when it turned red. She didn't know where I was when it turned red. She could not say if I was almost to the line or beyond the line or whatever. She couldn't say. So right there, you know, and it's in the transcript. I paid $150 for it, you know. So, yeah, I fought the law and I won. I fought the law before. I sued Oregon in federal court and over them taking my driver's license because of a 35-year-old California child support thing for my 38-year-old kid now. You know, I sued them and they gave me back my driver's license. You know, and told California to take a hike. And that's all history now. That's all gone. Yeah, they're all satisfied, and they kept taking they were taking 100 out a month out of my Social Security, and it took about a year and a half. So I didn't owe them that much, and I didn't know them anything. They were having me pay back money that my ex-wife took from them when defrauded. She frauded welfare, and they charged her with welfare fraud. But they just let her go, and we don't go after the woman. We if there's a father, we just charge the father for taking. You know, guilt by gender. Yeah. Oh. But that's all history, and I'm the bad guy because she married the next door neighbor. Yeah. Let's see. Yeah, come on over, drink some beer, and watch some football. Who knows? You might get lucky with my wife. Those kind of neighbors. Those are not. I guess wasn't a good wife either. When you look at it that way. Yeah. So laughing out loud is laughing. My left leg is gone to sleep just now. Oh, it's just it's that painful. Oh. So I got a lot of nerve problems in my low back and my legs, and got bone spurs all over. Sometimes your leg goes to sleep is not just numb, man. It's kind of painful. I was sitting with my leg kind of off the table, and I gotta sit straight in the table, get off my ass so my leg will wake up. I like the spine. Here's something. That's something. He'll poop in the hat needs one of these. He needs a spine badly. He's a piece of shit. I'll tell you that. You know, he didn't want to apologize. He's proud of himself. So he's proud of himself for accusing me of all those vile things, you know. And now DeCall started this, and so I'm not going to take no shit for giving him shit, you know. Yeah, he's just I don't care for that piece of shit at all, and I shouldn't be expected to tolerate him, you know. He couldn't make an apology. He stands behind what he said, and God, wish I could interview his wife about him masturbating in public. You know, you gonna keep going along with what your accusations to call. I'm gonna make accusations about you. I'm gonna shop the news and what's the latest horrific thing somebody did, and that's the kind of stuff DeCall does. DeCall's the kind of person who would mail bombs to politicians. He's that kind of person. You know, none of those bombs had postmarks on them. None of them went through the post office. They were all brought there by the person that made them or the organization that made them. They had a little DNC meeting, and here's your bombs. Take them home and just put them in your mailbox. Put them in your mailbox. We know that that's not the way you get your mail most of the time, but just put it in your, got a mailbox, put it in there, you know, and then call the police. And then the police go, well, the fingerprints on these are just the fingerprints of the person at the address that they were sent to. Oh, that's the person that put it there. That's why their fingerprints are on. You probably find their fingerprints inside. The father high top. Nikolai. Hey, Nikolai. Olaf on the river. Run like the river. Run like the river. I seen Vintage Trouble, and they play that song. They going through. I got a little short video on my Facebook of Vintage Trouble playing "Run Like the River." Cool band. Got a picture with me and Ty too. Ty Taylor is his name. Claim your Halloween treat. Yeah, sure. I don't think so. Yeah, and I got up yesterday and looked outside, and my car's got a flat tire. And I've got this pump here, but the crank has come. I got to open it up and put the crank and the piston back on the drive shaft of the motor. There's a set screw on it, and it doesn't want to turn to tighten up. So it's like, okay, I'm going to try and pull it out and then ream out that hole with the threads. I don't know if I got to, but the only way I can go to the store is drive the RV, so I don't want to do that. So I got to try and fix this thing and get my flat tire fixed. I wasn't planning on going to the store, going anywhere for about 4 days. So, I just sit out here and I work on my art that I've made. And I got to start working on my book more and spend less time with the community. Because all I'm finding is there are people that are jealous of your solve. You got a salamander, it doesn't mean a lot. But when you find figures of mammoths and people hugging mammoths and people kneeling and praying to mammoths and baskets on mammoths and parades of mammoths and stuff, you found something that is from the Ice Age. It's not from the Pueblo. It's not it's much older than that. Over 10,000 years. And this place has been there for 10,000 years. He's figured his treasure should last a few thousand years at least there. William. Wilhelm. Yes, I'm William too. But I'm descended from William the Conqueror. And there were 4 other William Gormans in my line back to the first one that came to Hartford, Connecticut in 1747. He came from London. He didn't come from Ireland. He came from London, So, but and then I got my ancestors, the Rogers Rangers. James Rogers is my 5th great grandfather. He and Ethan Allen were conspired to make Vermont not part of the revolution, independent of the United States and independent of Britain. Brother is Bill, dad is William. Wow. Yeah, my dad's middle name was William. And my brother got his first name, but I was first. He just didn't want the confusion. Even my brother goes by his middle name, so. But he likes to go by his first name because that was our dad's name. And my dad was a champion swimmer in the Navy. He beat guys that come back from the Olympics. He wasn't allowed to go to the Olympics because he was considered a professional because he was in the Navy. But he was fat. He beat the guys that went to the Olympics. So, and that was at one of them at LSU. It was a swim meet. This is 1952, and I have his swimming times for his fastest times at each type event. I swam. I swam the 200 free, the 400 free, and the 100 free relay. So they changed the 400 free to a 500 free. So it's like 5 minutes and 15 seconds, but I swim 100 yards in 52 seconds. In the relay, my split time was 52 seconds for 100 yards. That's faster than most people walk. Yeah, I'm like a torpedo. They call me Flipper. And the reason I was able to go that fast was because my birth defects and my feet are turned in that made me go faster. So I might walk funny on land, but in the water I could move. I'm more fish than monkey. Look at it that way. Yeah, look at this. Let me see. I can show you what's in there. This is. Yeah, because I got to put some air in that. I got a plug kit, but I might have to. I got a couple dollars. I think I got less than 20 in the bank, but that's enough to get a can of tire goo. And I don't care. This tire company, they sell you shitty tires. You put tire goo in there and you bring it back to them to get new tires and they got to mess with all that goo. It's too bad you shouldn't sell me shitty tires. They make the tires in Korea. The quality standards are, new technology, they can do better. Oh, no screw in that hole. So, see? There's the screws are falling out. There's the crank. There's the piston. The pump. And you see this set screw here. It's like it doesn't even go in far enough to get to the shaft. If you look in that hole, that set screw should be coming into that hole, and it doesn't even get down there. You don't see a set screw sticking out there, do you? Yeah. So it looks like it has a. Is that thing square? I don't know. It's hard to tell. But you see, this goes on the shaft, or the shaft goes in here. Its set screw holds the shaft, and the piston goes on here, like that. And so when it turns, this piston will go up and down. So I got to work on this up screw. Even if I'm thinking I might pull this one out and take a self tapper and drill it through there and then back and make a new set screw. But yeah, that's what I got to deal with. And you see this, the pump goes up in here, and so it'll when it's turning this will go like this, up and down in there. Boy, there's no joint underneath the. You see, there should. So the piston kind of rocks in the cylinder when it's pumping too. It pumps, it rocks in, and there should be like a one-way valve up there. Yeah. Pain in the butt. So, yeah, this is the part I got to fix. But otherwise, that's a really good, because it says it'll go to 100 pounds, and the gauge doesn't tell you the right amount. I got it to 28, and when I went to the dealership, they said, "Oh, this one's already 50 pounds." So okay, well, my gauge said 28. So you go buy a Chinese gauge anymore, it ain't gonna be right either. And every place I go to get air at at the gas station, none of the gauges work. They never work, never. So it'd be worth $20 for one that perfect. A U.S. Start make you gotta start a new business. U.S. gauge, or something like that, where it's quality, you know, not this cheap shit that's made on some Chinese assembly line that doesn't even do it. It looks like it's working. It's like the wind generator has a brake on it. Come on. They say, well, and it's supposed to go up to like 900 RPM or something, 800 RPM, you know. And they say, well, we have, because see, if the thing goes faster than 800 RPM, we have to brake it and slow it down. No, you don't. My alternator on my car doesn't do that. My alternator on my car, I run it all day. I run it at 6,000 RPM, and it's still putting 14 volts. The voltage doesn't go up. Why can't they make a wind generator that works like the car alternator? I'm just trying to charge 12-volt batteries, you know? So you hear this thing up on the roof, go, clunk, clunk, clunk. And it's not necessary. Just spin with the wind. It keeps stopping and stop. It goes for 3 seconds and stops for 3. It goes for 3. That's unnecessary. The wind generator engineers have their head in their ass. Totally. There's no reason you can't do the same as a car alternator and let that thing, you know, a car alternator runs, you got to get going up about 1,000 RPM to get going. So, but there's no reason this one can't be electrically wired or done the same way as a car alternator and regulator, and just give a continuous 14 volts like it's supposed to, you know. I'm gonna make my own. I'm gonna find out how to make my own controller and get rid of the brakes and make it work like a car alternator, you know. There are some real idiots designing these wind generator controllers, battery chargers. There's no reason to have that noisy thing breaking, and it rattles and rattles up on the roof, you know. It's annoying. There's no need for that. No need at all. You just piss off customers and you give them a shitty product, you know. And you need to talk to somebody about making that type of wind generator. General Motors could make a great wind generator. You know what I mean? It doesn't take that much. You know, because the one on the car is, oh, I'm going faster, so I'm going to put less out. It doesn't put brakes on. If you're if your car alternator had a brake on it like the wind generator, the belt would spin around the pulley and burn up. It starts smoking and you'd smell rubber. And there's no reason to have a brake on a wind generator. Unless you want to say, hey, I got plenty of solar today, turn off. That's the only time you need a brake on a wind generator. You never need to slow it down. Unless it starts doing 10,000 RPM. Or, you know, the blades need to be rated to go fast. This is Earth. Design a wind generator for planet Earth. We get winds that might be 100 miles an hour. I mean, you know, you can at least have it withstand a hurricane. That make it for planet Earth, and you know. TTT. The fanatic. I love my coffee cup. I got a bumper sticker with it too. Nobody buys them. Nobody buys them. The only ones that have been made are the ones that I ordered for myself. Oh, there's a coffee cup out there. Bill Blackburn has it. He's got my two little generators too, fixing them up. The pull starter came in, so he's gonna pick that up for me and put it on there. Anybody? Yo, what's up? Quiet here, brother Bill. Dad, yeah, we went through that. There's a lot of Williams. I'm just saying from William Marshall too. William the Conqueror. You know, William the Conqueror. He was, I don't know, wounded or something, and they left him for days laying on the floor in the hallway of his castle or whatever. You know, left him there to die while they all pillaged all his belongings and stuff. You know, and he was kind of like. That's what my Rogers family came with to invaded England with William the Conqueror. Rogers was like Robert Rogers and Northwest Passage, the guy who wanted to send an expedition up the Missouri River to the Shining Mountains. From there, it's a 20-mile carry to the Oregon River, the Pacific Ocean. He's my fifth great granduncle. But his family is Roger's name comes from Roger I and Roger II of Sicily and King of Sicily and Naples. Hey, Holly, how you doing? So and then they teamed up with William the Conqueror and invaded. You know, it was Rogers and William the Conqueror with King Roger, and Roger, actually Charlemagne, got Roger's cloak was made in Persia or something, and you know, his big red royal cloak, and Charlemagne inherited that cloak. You know, it goes way back, you know, like 1,500 years, I guess. But I traced my family back to the year 6, and when I looked that guy up, he has a family tree that goes to Adam and Eve. Well, tie. Well, thank you. Well, too. Yeah, I'm doing okay. I had breakfast, had dinner yesterday. I got dinner in the fridge for tonight and the next 2 days, and I got more in the freezer to cook. That is meatloaf, man. It's good. I got ran out of Ziploc bags, and I can't just go get them because I got a flat tire. So fixing my pump. Got to fix my pump so that I can air up my tire, so I can go to the store and get some tire fixer. But I got enough food to last a week at least. So I'm not too worried about going places. So I get a flat, no big deal. I'm going to survive. I know how to MacGyver my way out of this. I've always been a good MacGyver. But I got to make I need a bicycle wheel, a large, like a 27-inch or 30-inch would be better. As big a bicycle wheel as I can find. Because I'm going to make a vertical wind. They call them vertical, right? Vertical because the shaft of the generator is vertical. But the thing spins horizontal. You know what I mean? So, vertical, horizontal, I don't know. Usually when I'm horizontal, I'm laying down. Vertical's one standing up on a pole, you know what I mean? But the idea with the vertical one is it can be flat on top of the RV roof and stay under 12, 13 feet, you know? And so you don't have to put it up and take it down, and you don't have to worry about the wind blowing it down because it's already low. It ain't gonna, if anything, it might fly away. There was one of them big wind generators got hit by, they think a flying saucer hit it. because one of the blades vanished. They never found it. And another blade was bent to shit. It's like, wow, what hit that? I guess there was a storm and something hit it. And they didn't find one of them giant blades. How's that possible? Them things are, they need an extended trailer on the semi truck that pulls them. They're like 200 feet long or something. They're 100 feet long. I don't know. They're huge. Claim your Halloween tree. I ain't gonna claim no Halloween tree. Yeah. It's not my liquid pipe that's it's the windpipe. And yeah, my stuff, my stomach, and well, I was born with an undeveloped stomach or something. I don't know. I threw up everything till I was 2 years old. So, but and I had to wear braces or I wasn't going to be able to walk, and made through that. And I made it through, survived my sister dropping me off the water tower. We lived in an 1890 farmhouse in Sunnyvale on Lawrence Station Road, right by the railroad tracks. And when they were building Lawrence Expressway in, I guess, 1963, they had us. We were renting. I guess my parents were renting that place, but it was like 15-acre walnut orchard, all along the railroad tracks, and but they tore it down. There was a drive-in theater there for a while. They piled up all the walnut trees and burned them all. But now it's a part of Silicon Valley high-tech industrial park. There's like AMD's in there and other things. So I used to live there. I decided it'd be neat to go metal detecting there. Around where and see if we could find some of the things that were lost when it was our farm that we lived on. But that's where I had my back burned off when I was 4. Was in the shower with my brother, and the water. I thought the water was too hot, and so I went to turn the cold up, and I turned the cold off. And I had my back burned off from my neck down past my butt. All the skin came off in one sheet, my mother says. I was in there screaming. I remember I was in the far end of the tub from the shower head that sloped, and I was trying to get out, and I kept slipping, and the water just kept spraying on my back, and it's just my whole back, one big blister, and all the skin came off in the tub right there. I wish my mother would have taken it and dried it out and saved it for me. That skin. Yeah, it'd be neat to have your skin from your back when you were 4 years old, So, yeah, I had to lay around on my stomach for, till that healed, basically, with the air to let it scab and heal, and my whole back turned into a scab. And so if it, like my mother said, jumped off the couch and it cracked and started bleeding, and but as a kid, I don't remember a whole lot of pain after. It was painful getting it done, having it when it happened, but kind of forgot. But when you're in the shower and somebody flushes the toilet and it starts getting hot, that freaks me out. So if you're ever in the motel room next to me and I'm in the shower, don't flush the toilet. It's the, you know, you got PTSD? Oh, since I was 4, had it when I went in the military. So, yeah, I don't. So that was the big ordeal, and DeCall's just like, he's like wiping my butt. It's like, yeah, it's like a turd that you won't go down the toilet. Just go away. Just go away, DeCall. Shit that won't go down the toilet. I'm not gonna. Yeah, DeCall ain't apologized, and so DeCall is on my shit list eternally. He's so proud of it. He's incapable of giving an honest and sincere apology. Those guys with black hat, he puts on that black hat. It says, "I'm the asshole." You know. He tries to be a big man. I'm a big man. I'm a big man. Look at me. I'm Big DeCall in my big black cowboy hat. I look so cool. Anybody can put on a black cowboy hat. But to win Forrest Fenn's chase, you need one of these. It's about the archaeology and the ancient ruins, his memories, his memoirs in nature. The poem leads you to his memories. Itch. There, scratched it good. The poem leads to his memories, and they're in the canyon walls. The gypsies are right there by the home of Brown. And if you went into... See, Pecos is an alternate where warm water's... It is a deepest hot spring. It's 1,000 feet deep. Warm waters halt at the bottom. How far down does it go? Oh, I don't know. Let's stick a string in there and measure it, Oh. Wow, this one's 1,000 feet. That one up in Yellowstone's only 400 feet or 30 feet. This one's 1,000 feet. It's the deepest one in the world. Where's warm water halt? It halts where you exit, where you sitting in the hot spring, comes out and it runs down to the river. It's warm right there where it hits the river, but if you move 2 feet, you're in the cold water. That's one end of where warm waters halt. But where's the end of the rainbow? Rainbow has 2 ends. Warm waters halt. So warm waters halt has another end down at the bottom where it came from. So that makes the deepest, but you can drive to that one, so it's not too far to walk. So it's not that one. It's the one that you have to walk 4.5 miles to get to the hot spring through nature, and you don't have to pay to get in. You don't even have to bring a swimsuit. You just get in that thing, butt naked and whatever, and it's on the San Juan River, 4.5 miles. So the sign says Rainbow Hot Springs, 4.5 miles. And he didn't walk 4.5 in, 4.5 out, and 4.5 back in, and 4.5 back out. He didn't walk 18 miles to go put the treasure at that hot spring. It's too far to walk. Okay? So you don't even have to go there. You put your ass back in your car. You go back down the canyon, because you have to go up the canyon before you can go down the canyon. Because there's a one way in and one way out. So, you know, so you're backtracking your route you used to get there. You come back out where you left the highway, and you're at the home of Brown. And a hint of riches, old Treasure Mountain. From there, it's no place for the meek. There'll be no paddle up Wolf Creek. Red Riding Hood, you meek little thing, the three little pigs like the biddies in the brick house. Forrest ain't gonna be in a straw house or a wood house. His wood house burned down twice. He's gonna be in a stone house. When he goes to heaven, his house is gonna be built of stone. It's gonna be a cat. So it's these stone walls. And when you find all of his memories, and then you find the bell, you just nobody's going to believe this. Nobody's going to believe this. But Forrest covets the treasure. That means it's his. It's his until he's dead, at least. So, until he passes away, nobody's going to have that treasure. Nobody's going to stumble on that treasure, because Forrest has to give you title. And he's not giving that title out until he's not breathing anymore. It'll be in his will. That when somebody dies, or before somebody dies, they go to the lawyer, they write the will, they got witnesses, you know, to sign it, and you know, it's filed. And it's a secret document until after the person's dead. And they pull that out. It says, I bequeath to my wife my estate at Santa Fe, New Mexico. And, you know, I bequeath to my daughter this stone statue sitting on my fireplace. After my wife passes, she can have it. And and I bequeath the treasure to the fanatic. That's when the title's handed out. You can't push him for it. He made the rules before the game started. And you can't change those rules. You know? He can't change the rules. He set it up, and so whatever rules he set up before the chase began were set in stone. God, I keep getting back to them rocks. Somebody commented on my video, oh, it's this rock. The guy had rocks in his head. If you think it's just rocks, your head is full of rocks. Because it's definitely, this stuff is there. It's hard to see. You got to marvel gaze and stuff. And this is like Pinocchio. And dreams come true. What you wish for, you know? And it's like, when when my dad died, after taxes and everything, I got about a quarter of what my share should have been, you know, because oh well, we tax the estate, and then we tax the person that the leftovers are divided amongst. Just taxed it twice, you know. But one thing our wonderful President Donald Trump eliminated the state tax. Forrest's descendants just made millions of dollars by Trump signing that paper. That's the other thing. All of Forrest Fenn's artifacts, Sitting Bull's pipe, the Kachina dolls, and stuff like that, before the book and the chase, were, at normal market value or whatever. But after the chase, everything in his estate doubles, triples, quadruples in value. So Sitting Bull's pipe that was, I don't know, he's paid. I don't know what he paid for it, but it's worth millions, right? So maybe it was worth $1 million before the chase, but since Forrest Fenn owned it too, it's worth $2 million or $3 million. So everything in his estate, because he made himself popular instead of he was a famous art gallery, but he wasn't popular. He was made famous in the art world, but not famous in other world, in the popularity thing. So this made him more popular to all kinds of people, not just people interested in art. And one thing, if you're not interested in art, you're not going to be a very good searcher, because there's a lot of art to be found in these on the rocks and stuff. I've got 34,000 pictures. I go through. Okay, there's something there, but it's not very good. There's a better one, and his face here. There he is. That's just a log. There's a face on it. What I got? I gotta give you a little show of some of these. Some of my art. You gotta put things in plastic bags in here if you want them to stay nice. That's a good one. See, there's the worshipers. Okay. Yeah. They're at 66. The eagle. That's Winslow, Arizona. Standing on a corner in Winslow, Arizona. Such a fine sight to see. It's a girl, my lord, in a flatbed Ford slowing down to take a look at me. Take it easy. I told my sister she needs to put a flatbed on my dad's Ford pickup truck and move to Winslow. He's got a 65 camper special, 3/4 ton. Here's the. Yeah. And there's World Trade Center. These grow up there around the ruins and stuff. And Kawana Parker said that the white man goes to church and prays to Jesus. The Indian goes in his teepee and talks to Jesus. It's because of these things and the peyote and the route that they took to get up here, up the Rio Grande, took them past the peyote. So they were mixing the peyote and these, and and they said, let's carve these mountains. Yeah. And they started carving them up. Hey, that's in Santa Fe. There's some mushrooms and flowers. I put it through the AILSD program. Yeah. Here's a. This was my friend Gary Zaboli. It was a drawing of his, and I put it through the art program. And you know, it's what was that guy in the movie? It's the movie about the OK Corral and stuff. But it's Henry Fonda, yeah, supposedly. But it was a drawing. It almost looked like it from a picture. You know, that was my dog Wabi Lobo. But these are the mammoth temples, and you see Moses is right in there, where he's standing right there. And he's parting this crack in the mountains. And there's stuff up here. See, this is a terrace up here. And there's stuff up there too. And this goes a lot further. This is like 200-300 feet up from the ground. So yeah, there's no way to get right there to Moses. So it has to be below him. And the blaze was his blaze. There's Mount Blanca. And there's some beach in Oregon. That's another elephant you see. That's right by, even on the map, look up Elephant Rock. That's where that is. You can't say I'm imagining it when the place is named Elephant Rock, you know? And I talked to, sent a message to David Hurst and sent him the picture, and he's amazing, you know? There's some more ruins. You see, there's figures standing here, the arm and the head. And there's somebody else, and there's other figures here. There's probably somebody down there, but whatever. There's the hole in the wall. But I'm seeing there's head there for you know, even the art program, it picks up the shapes that are there and just you know, so it'll smooth out any roughness and stuff. But this was a neat spot, and that hole goes right through that rock. And I'm seeing now this is the elephant trunk coming over the hole. This is the elephant head. There's the legs, you know. But there's people that make up the. Oh, it's awesome. So, you know, you're marvel gazing and the shapes that are in nature there. And he was able to see his memories. And oh wow, there's a Model A cowl just like on our Buffalo Cowboys car. You know? I made this one of I put the elephants on there. It's neat, you know. So well, you know, the chase is just a part-time for me. I got to get into my art business and start. I need something to spice up my website, maybe that wants to make a little bit, and by selling my art, you know. You go to these places that will put it, you know. They got these websites with all these people, and you're in there with 10,000 other artists and your stuff that nobody ever sees it, you know? Yeah, I gotta have my own. I have lookinhere.com. And part of the reason I'm broke is WordPress just took their payment, their annual payment for my WordPress hosting. I have it hosted on WordPress. What was this one? Oh, yeah. The Omnificent Guru on the log. There's Moses. I took this. This picture was from 2013. My buddy uh, Jim Cuba took this picture, and he died this year. This year or last year he died, I think. Yeah, I rescued him. He had a stroke, and I found him and got him to the hospital. My dad was, I said, a champion swimmer. He's got a lot of trophies. That's from 1950s. One thing I don't like when you go to Walgreens and have your pictures printed, and they cut off your text. It's like, oh man, you know, let me crop them. I could have done better. There's there's a big elephant right there. Right above my fingers, big elephant head, the trunk coming down. But, here's the it's a waterfall. So yeah, I need to come up with about. I want to get a little tent, one of them little art fair tent things, or either that or set up the side of my RV to be the tent with the awning, and go to art fairs and sell my art. But it'd take about $4,000-5,000 of prints, or canvas stuff and all that to have enough. You can't just go to an art fair and bring along 5 pictures. You know what I mean? I got to have at least 40 nice canvas prints, and maybe a couple of hundred of poster prints, and my dad stuck through the art program. And there's the mammoth temples. You might see the elephants a little better there. I don't know. And a quail. Yeah, it was Oregon. I took that picture of that quail. So, and I got, you know who that is? Who's treating it? Who's threatening him? Oh, fuck off, to call. Is there a... There we go. You're not allowed to comment on my stuff, to call. You're a piece of shit. You need to put out an apology. Until then, you're a piece of shit. I don't care for shit laying around in my chat. There's my my great grandparents. I knew these two people. uh, um, I was 10 years old before they passed away. He was born in 1876. My great grandfather. We used to knock him down. He was 90 years old, and you know, kids, you can't tell kids, you can't stop kids, and you can't give kids, crap for being kids. That's one thing. That bastard DeCall accused me of bullying and harming kids, hurting kids and stuff and babies, and that's the exact opposite. He's the one, like the Democrats do. He's one of them Democrats voted for Hillary and stuff. They like to blame their opponent for the things that they do. So why would he accuse me of doing stuff he does? I'm not like you, DeCall. I'm not a piece of shit. Yeah. All right. He's the only person I have blocked on YouTube. And if he's on the flip side again, I'm going to lose faith in the flip side. The guy's a piece of shit. I like this one, even though it doesn't nearly. Yeah. Why did DeCall have to come in here and piss me off again? I'm trying to, people want to come in. He's just a troll anymore. His solution sucks. His salamander crawled out of his ass. Now this one here. Oh, that is somebody. Well, it looks like a head there, doesn't it? Right here. The guy with a beard. Yep. It is a guy with a beard. That's my friend Scuba. There's the eye of the wolf. What's in his eye? I don't know. These are the ones I didn't put up on the wall. I had like 300 printed, and I didn't put them up on the wall. I put all the ones on the wall. So here's my Togo in the manger. How's that, Troy? I'll send you a picture of that. Send Troy a picture of that. Troy Barlow. Yeah, Sean, get Troy Barlow on the show. Get Teton Trapper on the show. Get some of the people that have been bullied out of the community on the show. Yeah, that guy DeCall was just being a total Marxist dictator bully piece of shit on that other day, and he slapped his hand. Oh, yes, that's. While I'm blackballed, pieces of crap like DeCall are propped up. That's my great-great-grandparents. It's their wedding in 1876. I think they got married. He was shot through the left arm. He's the one that was shot in the Civil War at Lake Shikot. He was shot through the left arm, and went through his left arm, 58 caliber mini ball, and his left shoulder, and the bullet came out by his right shoulder blade. So the bullet, that 58 caliber, went all the way across through his body. You know, not like straight through this way or this way. It went across, and your windpipe, your esophagus, everything goes. You know, all your spinal cord and everything. And he laid there for 3 days, survived it. Laid there for 3 days before a general found him. And he said, "If you give me your hand, I'll help you up, soldier." He says, "Go to hell, I'll get myself up." And he spent a year in a hospital in Memphis. And then he was discharged in 1865 and went back home to Wisconsin. And the picture I have of him outside the tent in the Civil War with the other guy was a first cousin of my great-great-grandmother who you know, Mary Allen Rogers. Her name's Mary Allen Rogers because her great-grandfathers were Ethan Allen and Colonel James Rogers of Rogers Rangers. The Army Rangers are named after her ancestors, you know, Rogers Rangers. And all of his brothers, Robert Rogers was the most popular of them. He made the major, but my fifth great grandfather, James Rogers, made it to colonel. He was a colonel in the Revolutionary War. He was a colonel. In the French and Indian War, he was a major or captain and a major. Rogers, the movie Northwest Passage with Spencer Tracy about my Rogers ancestors, and that's about the Lewis and Clark brought Robert Rogers instructions to make their journey. He followed it. My family wrote the instructions for Lewis and Clark, and that's a fact. And it was about the journey, the Northwest Passage, and Forrest Fenn's poem is about the Southwest Passage. It's going over the Great Divide, going over the Omega, over the top, from one end, beginning of the rainbow, over to the other end at the end of the rainbow. The warm waters of the Atlantic, the cool waters of the Pacific, yeah, this one here, the real, there was, look at that F right in the middle. You see that F? Right there. Boop. But this is an obscure area. I don't think it's here. But you see there's characters all along here. There's human figures carved all along here. F, this guy here, his head, 2 eyes. There's a F-100 at Eglin Air Force Base in Florida. Unless the hurricane did so. I think the hurricane wasn't that close to this. The F-100 at Eglin Air Force Base. The Armament Museum. They got a lot of bombs and stuff there, and cruise missiles and things like that. See, I put some Egyptian stuff through the art program too. I think that's what it is. Yeah, it's Egyptian. Yeah. Yeah. This is from a statue in Santa Fe. There that is too, yeah. But some more mushrooms, flowers. They're pretty to take pictures of, and they do really good in the art program. Um, I can't wait to have a gallery with some of my stuff all over the walls, and uh, with a back room with a ton more ready to go. You know, someone takes one, put another one up, because I've got thousands of these. I've got probably 4,000, 5,000 art pictures. There's the gypsies. Let's see. Doug. Togo. Yeah, he's Jack's out there running. That dog loves to chase rabbits out here. He can't catch them, but those rabbits know where their holes are. And you know, this is a freaky, yeah. That was lichens on a rock, and I added the eyes and lips to it. See, I'll tell you if I doctored anything, you know. Some of these would be really cool if I doctored them. Then I can make them really neat. But I don't, you know. I turn up the color and saturation. This is from a picture I took in New York in 1987. World Trade Center. See, that would make a nice print on a wall, you know. I take black and white pictures and turn them into color, and with all this art design to it, and it like restores it to the original, you know. There's the Golden Gate with some colliding galaxies behind it. I make these thing. Let me see, what do we got here? Oh, this is the guy holding the tombstone. Yeah, one of them. There's many figures holding tombstones up there. You hear my wind generator breaking unnecessarily? It's because the gold, the batteries are 14 volts. Shut off the wind generator. It's like the batteries want 14 volts. Hey, Sean. I accidentally mentioned your name when I meant to mention Butthead's name, but I corrected it right then. What was this one? I'm trying to figure out what the... I think that was the cowboy head. Yeah, it is. There's a cowboy in there. There's the... what's that? I don't know. No, that's a mammoth I put through the art program. And this place, it is like I call it the stone igloo, you know. It's got a couple, it's got an omega here, and there's this head here, and there, I think this is a big head on the side here, or mammoth, I don't know. But I like the ones that I put the Egyptian stuff in the program, and that comes, you know, I need to make a visit to Egypt and have an Egyptian wing of my gallery, you know. I've already got Egyptian stuff that I found here. And there's a guy, Leak Project channel. That guy, I told him about Anubis up here and stuff. The guy was living in San Antonio, and I told him about Anubis and stuff. And now he's up near Durango or Pagosa Springs and trying to pretend like he's finding this stuff. So, you know, but I got it documented. I've been there long before him. You know, my videos go back further than his on it. So I can show you he's just coming into the same area. He's a copycat. You know, somebody trying to steal my glory. You know. I like that too, mammoths. Golden Gate. Yeah, I'm from the Bay Area. I grew up in Silicon Valley. I've worked at IBM Intel and DVP is off grid. DP is off grid. Yeah, I'm off grid for sure. Oh, reminds me. But the sun's behind a cloud right now. But I gotta move my solar panel. I'm not seeing. These are my kind of reject pictures that I didn't. Well, the ones I didn't put up there because they weren't as good. But this one here, I've got another one of this up here, a different copy of it. But this is see, this was a black and white picture, and I put it through the art program. And that's my parents. Back, probably out there conceiving me. I don't know. Yeah, you did. I went through all these. Okay. So yeah, ringing the bell is known as laughing. Ring the bell loudly is the same as laugh out loud. Laugh because it's all been a joke. The real treasure is in your heart and in your exploration and finding the ancient artifacts. Forrest said that you're I had to call on my fanatics. He got Double Blazes Award. Oh, where was that? I put it on here. Oh, I don't see it now. There was a quote he said that the searchers Forrest said to me, "You are the thrill of the chase. We are. He was getting bored, okay? He wanted to do something exciting, make his life a little more exciting, and put a bigger imprint in the history of America or whatever, and make an imprint. He got tired of watching phony stuff on TV, people on the news lying, and shows about stupid stuff, and and that stuff. And he wanted to create a form of entertainment to entertain him the rest of his life, to write his final chapter. And we are writing his final chapter. We are Forrest Fenn's own. We're a soap opera, basically. Sitting on my pistol. Yeah, I made a. So we're writing his story. It's a mad world, part 2. The Forrest Fenn treasure hunt. Boy, it's all tangled up. I haven't put this on in a while. I made this so. See, it's got 2 straps, and it just put that on like that. And I got a belt on it that goes around my chest and got a clip. You can't see it. Yep, see, that goes around me. And that holds it. And so when I bend over, it's not swinging out in front of me, and it stays right there. Because I don't need the black hat and shoot from the hip. It's good enough, because if I'm out there with Jack, if there's a mountain lion or something like that, Jack's gonna get the attention of the animal before me, and I hear that, I don't have to, you know, I got time to pop it out of here and pull it out. The sperm race. So the bladder neck closes or tightens, and this would allow the semen to come out. Yeah. So is where warm waters halt is when the woman breaks the water before birth, and you come out of the birth canal, and you know where the Homer Brown is? It's right next door. So what you're looking for is the titties. The treasure is the titties. Yeah. Let's see. Low. Now he has his biggest shoes. Your solve is fallacy. I don't know about her solve. Or policy. This is a memoir. We're chasing his memories. If you can find his memories hidden in the forest, then you get the title to the gold. The title is earned. You got to work hard for it. But Forrest Fenn gives the title out. You don't just go take it. I've been watching videos of, I just started following his channel. The guy from Independence Day. The guy that goes in with the fighter jet, or I can't remember the line now, but he tells his family goodbye, and he's been putting out some videos, and I think he has a light like I just got one of these, and he puts his face right up to the camera, and he's got a beard and all, and he's and he's riding the red wave, the red tsunami. So I didn't see that, whatever it was. Back to work. Bye. Okay, have fun at work. I'm just wasting time. Got nothing to do. Well, I have to fix my tire pump. But there's no hurry. I didn't plan on going anywhere for 4 or 5 days. I don't understand people that can't stay somewhere for several days without the need to run into town to spend money. Are you great? So glad you're bouncing back from recent drought. Yeah, I was bouncing back. I was doing okay, but you didn't catch it a while ago. The call came in here and was trying to. And I don't want to hear that piece of shit. So he's blocked from commenting. His stuff is hidden. I think you can unhide stuff so you could pull up what they put in there. That's all my. After I was blocked on Gypsy's Kiss, all I put was test 1, 2, 3. Nope. It'd show up for half a second. Boop, gone. Boop, gone. Boop, gone. Okay, yeah, I'm blocked. So, yeah, if I had a black hat, I would crap in it. Or I can just go watch the flip side and see crap in a black hat. I hope that Sean, you need to get some like Troy Barlow and so there was another guy that just did a video about that he was disappointed about the gypsies. He has nothing to watch now. You might find out why he feels that way. Um, there are the people that want to say that no, it can't have anything to do with a structure. So a person's house, would not even be here in 1,000 years, and those kind of ridiculous exclusions that that just it's like, okay, this is the road to the treasure, and they put a roadblock in it. Boom. You know, you listen to what other people are saying about the hints and what you got to do and things and what the poem is about. You don't have to give a shit about where they tie these to. You know, that's not your problem. You know, if you don't believe them, don't follow them. But don't go shooting at people because their idea is different than yours. You know. The guy on the show last night was just trying to divide everybody, and he's got his nose right up Toby's butt. You know. And he likes some the people who like that gay talk and talking like, oh yeah, I want to snuggle with you. Go fuck yourself. I'm 100% heterosexual. I wanted to go to the guy. The guy, the Florida guy, get it done, get her done. That guy. He had, when I lived in Orlando, he had a heterosexual day parade. Yeah, you're not allowed to have a heterosexual day parade. You're not allowed to. Yeah. At least a heterosexual day parade, we keep our clothes on. We don't go showing our stuff to little kids. And people that vote for that stuff, lunatics. People walking around naked downtown in a parade? You serious? You're sick if you enjoy those type of activities, or if you participate in that kind of activity, or if you coddle people that participate in that kind of activity. You're sick like they poop. They poop. I smell they poop. Yeah. They poop, ain't they shit? He's the poop. The poop in the black hat. I see the flip side for being up. Yeah, they bring up my heart, but still to call shit all over me, accuse me of bullying and hurting children and babies. Come on, DeCall. You know? DeCall's gonna accuse me of that shit and can't retract it, can't apologize for that shit. Then DeCall can suck my dick. I won't let him touch it. He's not my type, obviously. You know? Yeah. Yeah, whatever. DeCall's never going to be my friend. He'd never make a sincere apology, and no, he's going to continue to. I'm the bad guy at the black hat. I bully anybody I want attitude. Screw you, DeCall. And I'm not being unreasonable. I'm just shoving the shit back in his face, shoving it back. He couldn't. He made a comment in the chat even that he was proud of his statement, and he sticks to it. You know, somebody say, I don't know. I know where to dump my black tank when I visit Vegas. Right on DeCall's lawn. I'll find a way to just dump it instantly and get the hell out of there. Well, no, David wasn't. He wasn't giving him shit. David was speaking the truth. DeCall is a piece of shit. You know, I've flushed better shit down the toilet. We ought to have a my wonderful this came from a Abenaki chief who here's Jack in the movie. DeCall came in and riled it up, and then somebody brought him up. If somebody brings him up, I'm going to talk about it, and people telling me to make up. No, DeCall's the one that has to make up. Fuck him. No, he's the one that made the attack. He's the one that has to initiate the apology. You know. Until then, I'd bury him in a pile of cow shit. You know? If he got hit by a train, I wouldn't attend his funeral. I'd go shit on his grave, maybe. But, DeCall want to make those kind of vile things, accusing me of harming children and babies and stuff. Fuck him. And really, screw anybody that thinks I'm in the wrong. Screw them. He started it. Yeah, I'll move on with the art. I blocked that piece of shit from chatting after he posted in here. And he's a litter bug. We found his name tag on the sidewalk in Santa Fe. DeCall. Couldn't find a trash can. It's true. What he said about me is not true. And that's what his problem is. He can't apologize for making vile, vicious lies that came out of his assholes on his face. And actually, he's such an asshole. He has no heart. He has no brain. He has no kindness. He's a piece of shit. And I'm just shooting back at the person shot at me. You know? Yeah, that's the piece of shit DeCall. I mean, don't even bring his name up. Like on Gypsies, but somebody brought up Bill Gorman, they were blocked from the channel. You bring up that piece of shit, I'll probably block you. Side with the call? You still like him? That piece of shit? That's just a tool for Toby? You know, those gypsies never apologize for falsely accusing me of insulting them. All of anybody said, oh, heard Bill Gorman telling them to fuck out here. That was after the fact, after they insulted me. Everything that I've put out against them or against the call was after they attacked me first. Saying that somebody doesn't have the same, they lack the imagination that I have is not an insult. Calling it an insult makes her a bitch. Especially if she called an insult and then blocked me. That makes her a bitch. I'm sorry. Somebody that blocks me for that is a bitch. Or an asshole. Whatever. If I see an asshole, I call it an asshole. But shooting back after I've been attacked, I'm not the attacker. I'm the defender. And I'm defending myself from these vicious lies. You're a piece of shit, DeCall. Quit sleeping with your grandmother. You know, I'm accused of hurting children and babies and women. You'll never find a woman on this planet that says I ever harmed them. DeCall, I'm sure you will. DeCall's married and he's flirting with other women. He's flirting with K-Pro and, you know, and... Yeah, I know nobody believes it, but he still said it, and he hadn't retracted it. He's proud of saying it. That's what makes him the world's biggest asshole. He's asshole from ear to ear. It all comes out of his mouth is shit. I don't know. If I see him on the flip side again, I'm done with watching it. I retract. I'll retract from the you know, because you go along with the shit DeCall and you agree with him that he shouldn't have to apologize. You think it's just fine that he accused, you know, John, David, how'd you like it if you were accused of bullying and hurting children and babies? My grandkids love the shit out of me. Because I don't harm them. I don't bully. I'm very good with. I avoid. You know. Sometimes you see, like, I'm not like Joe Biden, and I bet DeCall is just like Joe Biden. You know, let me grab her and feel her up, and yeah. DeCall's one of them pedophiles, obviously. Because when you accuse somebody else, this is what Democrat, the Saul Alinsky, to accuse your opponents of the things you do. And since DeCall made the accusation, it's got to be him. I'm not the bad guy. He accused me of bullying and hurting children and babies. So I'm saying double blazes, DeCall. Double blazes. Stick it up your ass and spin it. I'd like to take him and stuff him up an elephant ass and spin him around. And then have the elephant step on him. He's a piece of shit. I mean, when you want to, even when people go to war and we got to shoot that poor devil over there, you know, why don't they get these assholes that deserve it? You got these liberals are, oh, we're going to lose the election. We better send an invasion force up from Honduras and then mail ourselves. Here's your bomb. Take it home, put it in your mailbox, and then call the police. Yeah, okay. And these places have camera. Okay, let's see the camera. Let's see the camera on your mailbox. Who put that there? And they'll find Hillary putting it in her own mailbox, you know? George Soros, he lives down the street from her, you know? Yeah, they all did it. Okay, on this day, and on this day, we'll get a couple more, and, you know? And it's all the people that are being indicted and going down. It's all the criminals that are going down they're all the people that are about to have their grand jury indictments unsealed. The FISA documents gonna be unredacted and put to the public, and they're gonna find out Obama ordered this shit. He's going to prison. Oh, Hillary's going to prison. They're not going just to prison. They're going to Gitmo. They built 27 luxury Gitmo stalls for these POSs. We have 28. Come on, one. No, he don't need to call the luxury one. Just put him in the pigsty with the other terrorists. Yeah, I saved that little hat thing for making more hats on turds, you know. Black hats on turds. Always shit in a black hat. I don't know. I'm gonna get off. Next video, I'll be ready to comment. You know, and I'll make my video, and he won't have any comments in there, and I won't be interrupted. Nobody's gonna ask me about the call. We're gonna, you know, if I bring him up, I'll just mention the turd, they turd or they poop or whatever. His name is now shit. Yeah, piece of shit. You know, struggle with being bullied out of the gypsies group and all that, and then just, you know, Sean, he started his stuff, and he just inherited the gypsy thing, you know, their guest selection with him. You know, this is our cabal. These are the only people we talk to. These people that you know, put on a presentation that's acceptable to us and politically correct and things like that. And because Toby has Bill Gorman blocked, we're going to block him too. But then he realized that wasn't, you know, I wasn't making any comments that need to be blocked, you know. And so I was invited in and all that. He realized that, yeah, you know, Bill Gorman was just railroaded out. We're going to let him in. But we're not going to we'll let him put his foot in the door, but we're not going to let him come in. Is basically what happened, you know. And DeCall feels threatened by me for some reason, that I'm some threat to him, that I'm hindering his search. All I did was gave my mammoth permission to step on his salamander. You know, And if he can see a salamander in a rock, I can see a fucking mammoth in a rock. Toby even talked about shapes in rocks. They all talk, but when Bill Gorman sees a shape in a rock, he's a nutcase. No, that's just the opinion of assholes. Yeah, Olaf on the river. Olaf on the river. I'm descended from Olaf, king of Sweden or Norway, back, 1,500 years ago, whatever. He was the father of Eric or something, Erickson. Eric's son was Eric's son. It's where it comes from. Olson was Olaf's son. And so, the names have changed. And so sometimes people spell it a little different, but you're still tied to the same family. My family were Knights Templars, and William Marshall's a direct ancestor of mine. And he was the most famous knight of all was William Marshall. It's a pareidolia. No, it's not pareidolia. Pareidolia can help you see it and stuff, but there's way too much for it to be pareidolia. It's 14,000 years, 20,000 years of erosion is why you need a little pareidolia to see because the figures are so. It's like, wow, that's a wedding ceremony. There's a whole crowd of people up there. And there's all these people all around this climbing on them, hugging the mammoth. They're hugging their legs and hugging their trunks and hugging their heads and kneeling there and putting their foreheads up to the forehead of the mammoth and worshiping them. There's one, it looks like the people kneeling on the mammoth forehead, and then it shows like a cutaway, and there's a god inside the mammoth forehead. Inside the mammoth, there's a god in there. And I think that they thought that the mammoth was just giant people. There were giants in those days. Well, what giants were around that aren't around now? Like the Columbian mammoth. Yeah, they were giants. They're not giant? Yeah, they were. They're bigger than an African elephant. They're about 1.5 times the size of an African elephant. They're way bigger. But there's picture of the people with the baby elephants, and they're all hugging them and loving them. So the elephants knew that people weren't a harm to them, but in a later time, maybe people hunted them, or in another place, they might have hunted them. But the people that were here in the mountains, they loved their mammoths. Their mammoths were their pickup trucks. You want to be good to your transportation. You polish your Porsche. Stuff like that, The mammoth was a very valuable tool to them. It moved the rocks, and it carried them across land and mountains, and they used the river to get to the ocean, just like they've been doing for thousands of years. The Indians used the rivers to cross America to the Pacific Ocean, the smelt trail to get the candlefish, to import them back to the Great Lakes and stuff in the east. They had these routes. The candlefish, the hooligan, is where the name Oregon came from. A fish, a candlefish, a fish that they use for wax. They get wax from them to make candles or whatever. But what it was is the Indians in Oregon is a hooligan. The fish is a hooligan. But the guys in the Indians and natives, the Chippewas and stuff, pronounce hooligan. They pronounce it Oregon. And Robert Rogers heard it as Oregon, Ourigan. And so you take the Missouri River to the Shining Mountains. From there, it's a 20-mile carry to the Oregon River that leads to the Pacific Ocean. And that's where the name Oregon came from, a fish. But that's 2 hours and 15 minutes. And they had the damn DeCall drama interrupting things. And yeah. DeCall's, he's got his own YouTube channel. But I'm not interested in watching another show with him on it. Unless somebody, hey, DeCall apologize, I'll go watch that. Ain't ever gonna do that. So, double blazes, McCall. Go feel like yourself. I don't want you in my life. I don't give a shit about you. I care less if they threw you off Hoover Dam. Watch them go commit suicide. And I did make sure and put welding in my tag on that video. So when they look up your name, they're going to find you insulting me. Your customers. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. You're a piece of shit to call. And I use your own words to take you down. Everybody else, have a great day. Call, kiss my ass. I'm done. I'll come back. There's lots of stuff in that book. Candy Ann and all that. I found my Candy Ann. Well, you find it. Well, which story is it that's the key? And you just don't know. Because it's all of them. It's the whole trove of these memories that are there on the mountain. So, adios.